I am on a mission to get to know as many Dead by Daylight creators as I possibly can, and in that mission, I have started this little series called Conversations by the Campfire, or whatever name I'm going to change it to the next time I get bored. And today, we have one of the top Dredge players in the entire game, KMD. KMD, you want to introduce yourself to people so they know a little bit about who you are?
Greetings, people of the internet. I am KMD. I am known mostly for this little silly Dredge character. I am, at least based on Nightlight, top 10 worldwide, number 9 to be specific. I got over 7k Nightfall downs. I have a very long, almost 100% guide on the character. I played in like a lot of showcases. I played in charity tourneys, even serious tourneys. I have a lot of experience in teaching the Dredge. I am a consultant for several creators when it comes to the Dredge. Yeah, I am the quintessential Dredge guy, if you will.
And definitely, even like small creators like myself, I go to you for like almost everything Dredge. So, for those unfamiliar about how the series works, it's pretty simple. I have a list of things that like are just conversation pieces, and then at the end of it, near the end of it, we jump into the community section where we answer basically every question you guys send. And it'll continue to be every question until the day where I'm big enough that there's too many questions to feasibly answer every single one of them. In which case, I'll put them in a big wheel. Yes, we. I think the only time we didn't answer like nearly all of them was like one of our interview guests got like 100 questions or something like that, and it was
That's
just
insane.
like I was like, there's no way I'm getting through 100 questions in like a reasonable time frame.
Damn.
Because we also, every question they ask the guest, I also answer on my own, just to keep the conversation going and keep it interesting. So the most obvious one that we start with most of these is how long you've been playing the Dredge and what drew you? Because I know you used to be a demo main, weren't you?
I have been a very dedicated demo main. I have currently 3k hours in the game, and I'm not sure how actually in reality it reflects, because the stats website, oh my fucking god, the stats website is like very, very well done. So of course it's missing half of my playtime in the game. So I'm not sure how accurately like it is reflected. By on average, I would say like 500 hours in my playtime are on Demogorgon, and like from like 1.5 to like 2k ish range is probably on Dredge. Probably. Again, I cannot like actually confirm that, because again, I don't have half of my playtime on the website, but something like that. As of how long I've been playing Dredge, I can actually track that pretty accurately through my screenshots on my PC, because I track my like a lot of my prestiges through screenshots, and it's been around like, actually I can check the date even. But it's been like around, like I played Dredge since release, don't get me wrong. But like when it comes to like full on primary slot, if you will, God, it would take me like 7 days to find it, but it gave me the benefit of patience here.
This is YouTube. We just edit the dead air.
I guess.
I had one time where the guest had to like answer the door, and so I like cut out like 15 minutes a day.
W. Yeah, it's been like around August in 2024. It's been like 2 years almost.
Damn.
I've been playing since like he's been on my primary since like around Dungeons and Dragons mid chapter 8.1, and like literally the patch after he got buffed. It was great.
Was it the buff that brought you over to him?
I mean, it was necessarily not that, but Demo has been one of the most neutered killers in history of this game. Every like other patch, you get an additional invisible wall on every side of the map, and it doesn't help already that like power-wise, Demo is like bottom 10 in my opinion. Like he's a very ridiculously weak killer, even with what they buffed him. Like he has been losing in power level, he also has lost a lot of skill expression because of how behavior treats verticality in their game, which I hope they will address with the recode. Because since they will be like doing a pass on basically every single map on the game, I would expect them to do some kind of new movement system, which includes verticality. So like, don't hold me accountable on that. But I wouldn't be surprised if like in a year or two we will see fucking xenomorph crawling on walls. Let me say it like that.
I actually that brings in like a really good topic of conversation, because I haven't made a video on it yet, but somebody said that in the Slasher Radio interview, I think Kote said that graphical update was basically a recoding of the game, and they have like an entire team dedicated, and that's what's got me excited for that graphical update. Is like, if it's a genuine recoding of the game and they're gonna fix a lot of the problems that have like hindered their development, what's the word I'm looking for? Their development creativity, I guess. Because that's what the devs have said in the past. Is like, because like Vecna doesn't technically fly. He's still on the ground. They just
his camera has moved up.
Yeah, they just do some animation bullshit. So like, I'm hoping, for me personally, you know, my love of Vecna, I'm hoping that soon we'll be able to like look up with Vecna and use the fly spell to actually fucking fly up to like I want to get some clips where I like fly up to fucking that vault on Gideon's that goes into the tube. Just fly up over that, like, yeah, go up the stairs now, bitch.
Dude, I'm sorry, but like the first thing I think of when you mentioned that is, oh my god, it's this fucking image.
Oh, the Superman, the Superman meme image is fucking stupid, man.
Yeah, but like, with the recode, I think it's like one of the main things that's currently keeping me still engaged in the game. Because don't treat me like as like any liquor. I don't know jack shit about what's happening in this game and what's like the dev situation, but I give behavior way more leeway right now, because based on how the pace of updates has slowed down like after year 8 and year 9, with how like little changes we're getting patch to patch, I am genuinely convinced that it's all hands on deck. Like, almost every department of the game is currently busy with the recode, and a skeleton crew is just left with what's like left to work on to actually like live service of the game. And combine that with like how I have to watch my words because I'm in the creator program, how odd the executives of this company are, especially I won't say that, okay. I'll slow myself down a bit. They definitely do have a fucked up priority list that they're putting on the developers, which they are directly suffering from, because not only they're forced to make decisions that are not very intelligent, if you will. So like they're held by the executives to do what they say, because it like supports the majority of the player base. Like, that's why you see out of balance updates mostly catering towards the casual side of the game, which unfortunately is mostly populated, unfortunately for us, of course, it's not like it's bad, but mostly to the survivor player base. But also, I would say they're also directly exposed to the community, because like, why are people going specifically after the individual developers of this game when they have basically no say in what's happening to the game most of the time, because they're directly like tied down by the executives of the company? Like, I would genuinely say like we could have way better like situation with the balance right now if they weren't too comfortable in the space of like live service, because like every live service game has to like stay afloat, and they unfortunately chose the way of not actually like healthy game preservation while we work on the recode, but they're just like going for the like lowest nominator. That's like the correct term, if you will.
Yeah, like putting it on life support. This is actually like I when I did the question section for your community post, I said, and my number one opponent, because you and I get in such heated debates. But I think one of the reasons that we do is because our brains work so similarly, because I was literally working on a video recently. I ended up scrapping it because it only ended up being like 3 minutes of discussion.
My experience with KMD.
But I was working on I was working on a video recently where I was going to compare the graphical update to what happened with Overwatch. because if anybody played Overwatch when Overwatch 2 got announced, content slowed to basically nothing. And then like balance patches were like so far and few between. We were working on like table scraps. And that's what it feels like has been happening over the past like year and a half with Dead by Daylight, is we've been having table scraps in terms of patches. And I think that the whole reason for that is the recoding. Because now that we basically are confirmed that that's what's happening, I'm way more what's the word I'm looking for?
Lenient, if you will.
Lenient, willing, yeah. I'm way more willing to give them the benefit of a doubt and wait for this update and see what comes of it. Because I mean, the 10th anniversary gave me a lot of hope. I'm just hoping that they don't piss me off. like
100%, I can tell you that the balance department is involved in that, because they straight up announced that weather effects will have effects on like perks and stuff like that. So the balance department is definitely working on how perks will work with that. And genuinely do make that video, because we need more awareness about that. Like, I'm not trying to never criticize behavior ever, because I'm one of the loudest like criticizers of behavior while still staying respectful. But we do like have to just accept that we have way less like we don't have the powerhouse that we have. And you could actually see that's like at least my cat pot of theory right now. You can actually tell at what time they started working on the recode of the game, because over the years the stream quality has been dwindling. If you look at like the 6th anniversary stream, for example, that is like incredibly well produced. Like the old streams are like insanely well produced. Like they have like a whole set, they have prepared scripts, they have subtitles. Like it's very well made. And currently what happens is that they like just kind of send it and have bullet points, and they also have tech issues, because again they don't have the manpower for that.
Yeah, and it's like, because like I had noticed I think like last week or something, I noticed that the quality of behavior as a whole from when I started playing in the Knights PTB back in year 6 to now has dropped. And the more that we talk about it, the more I'm like warming to the idea that we're just not working with a full deck right now. Like they've got a good portion of the development team, but they can't talk about it because there's probably some contractual bullshit. And also I think Matthew, I think Matthew has also gotten smarter about letting his development team give promises that they can't necessarily keep. I
mean, I would say that's more like Dave Richard, because Matthew does not work actually like on the game itself. He just handles partnerships. But like Dave probably is the one behind that, I would assume.
I thought Matthew was lead dev.
No, Dave Richard is the creative director, and Matthew Cote is just head of partnerships. He used to be a game director when the game was first coming out in the first years, when it was still under Starbreeze.
I need to catch up on all of that.
One thing that is like really confusing me about the recode though is that they have been saying about like how they will not do a DBD2, but they go ahead and like now say that they're going to basically rework the entire game. And I'm genuinely convinced they thought we want like a sequel, like a completely new game, when we just literally meant like a recode plus like a remaster, basically, while still being the same game.
So I think it was in my conversation with either Hexed or JG Dark, I don't remember which one, I believe it was Hexed, where he pointed out that naming something DBD2 or DBD Re-Enter the Fog or whatever the fuck might have licensing ramifications. So they don't want to make a DBD2, quote unquote,
because they're making a trademark,
yeah, because they don't want, so they don't want to lose any licenses or have to renegotiate contracts. But if they just recode the game and release one gigantic fuck you patch that recodes the game from the ground up, but still keep the name and delete the old Dead by Daylight, which I don't think any of us would complain about that. Then as long as everybody gets the update for free, I think it'd be fine. I wonder if it's gonna go free to play with the recode.
I hope so. If they drop EAC,
Yes.
I genuinely hope so, because there's zero reason this game has to be pay to play. Absolutely.
EAC is
Like,
so.
if you have
I need that fucking anti-cheat going. I hate that fucking.
like if you have a monetization model based on DLC content drops, and you have a cosmetic store, why are you charging people like what is it, $20 to access the game?
Yeah, exactly.
That's genuinely fucking insane to me.
Yeah,
and like I feel like that's just something that stayed over. Like I feel like that's just a kind of a remnant of like Starbreeze handling the game, because like Payday is basically the same. You have a big, I mean not really big, but like you have a sizable like fee to even access the game, and then you have to sell a kidney to get every DLC, basically.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've been playing Payday since like 2019. Like, I've been engaged with the franchise. I got the game like through G2A, of course, because I would rather not spend like all that money on a code for a 10-year-old game.
Yeah.
And if I didn't buy that game at that point, if you go right now on Steam to... Can my taskbar actually show that, please? Oh my god, thank you. If you go to the store page of Payday 2 right now, you can see that the Infamous collection, which is basic, like almost every DLC until this year. Well, I got the DLC, so I cannot see, but I'm pretty sure it's like $250, which is fucking insane. And with Payday 3, the game is like the base game itself is like $30. And they're still like adding DLCs to it, which is something I just don't really like, even though I like the franchise. Like, it's very odd. Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of what happens with DBD2, where Starbreeze just wanted to like make a like. I mean, they didn't expect the game to blow up like that, but like they just reused the same model they did for Payday and forced Behavior to just like. I mean, to be fair, I think they handled the pricing, but you get what I mean. Yeah. Like they price the game the same as they do Payday, basically, and it just kind of stayed over.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely an outdated remnant. Like, no live service game should be pay to play, in my opinion. Like, the live service model.
I'm agreeing with that, yeah.
The reason I love the live service model so much, which apparently is a very hot take among especially older gamers of my generation, but I love it so much because in the old days, I don't know if you and I are close to the same age or not, but in the old days, when I was gaming growing up, if all your friends were playing the newest game like Call of Duty, Halo, Gears of War, whatever, and your parents couldn't afford to buy you that game, you didn't get to play that game with your friends. So you would go to school or whatever, and all your buddies would be talking about how they, teabag some dickwad 40-year-old virgin on Call of Duty or whatever, and you couldn't be a part of the conversation. But nowadays, that same kid with parents who can only afford the PC or the Xbox or whatever, he can go download Fortnite, Apex Legends, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, whatever the case may be, and now he gets to play with his buddies. So that's why I love the live service model, because all the purchasable stuff typically is not gameplay changing. Not that by Daylight that's different, but I still think giving people the ability to free to play Dead by Daylight is a great option. But like you said, and I agree with it, we need to ditch easy anti-cheat. We need our own anti-cheat system that doesn't fucking suck.
Like, again, I don't like to directly, like, quote-unquote, attack the work effort at behavior, but DBD is, like, very... I would, like, call it kind of scratch-coded, like in Scratch, because, like, Blueprint isn't a bad model for coding, for example, but, like, it is very, very simple. It's not, like, actual code. I mean, it is, like, C++, but, like, you basically play with nodes, right?
Yeah.
And did you know that the current movement system in Dead by Daylight is a slightly tweaked default Unreal Engine movement system?
Yes.
For third person? Yeah. So yeah, like they and with easy anti-cheat like being a remotely cheap or maybe even free, I'm not even sure, like easy anti-cheat system, like they do cut corners a lot. I will say it like that. Like they definitely do cut corners a lot when it comes to developing this game. Unfortunately. And with the lower manpower, they will do that even more.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Unreal system is both a blessing and a curse. Because like if you came from Apex Legends like I did, the Unreal movement system is like your best friend and worst enemy. There's something in Apex Legends called tap strafing, which dominated the fucking game for a while, and it's basically just a quirk of the Unreal system. And that exists in Dead by Daylight. People don't realize it, but like, so killers, whenever you swap directions, you lose momentum. So if you're going left and you try to go right, you lose momentum. But if you bump into the environment at the same time you switch direction, you don't lose the momentum.
Yeah, you save your momentum. It's like
that is an Unreal Engine quirk, and that is there because of Unreal
like a real high level trick too. Like high level, like is dominated by that momentum save. Yeah,
it is absolutely hilarious. Like how much like Unreal quirkiness exists in the game. It's so funny to me. It's so funny to me how like cool Unreal movement is, but like people take it for granted because they just don't know the little quirks of it. But I genuinely think that if the recoding and the graphical update is what they say it's going to be, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm still tenuous about it because the amount of broken promises by this company, like look at what happened with Operation quote unquote Operation Health, or the quote unquote health chapter. Like the broken promises from the devs. I know you can't say much because you want to protect your creator program, which
like contrary to popular belief, we aren't as limited, but like I just don't want to go specifically after like individual devs or like specific people in the company, because like that is actually like frowned upon.
Yeah.
Probably.
I will say
like, we can say a lot, but like we cannot say like we cannot insult people, basically.
Yeah. I will say that Chad is bullying me for using the word tenuous. You guys do know that I am an author, right? I'm an author and I read classical literature for fun. Fuck you guys. Anyway, so what the fuck was I saying? The funny thing is that I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? I was talking about the creator program. So the funny thing is that I applied for the creator program, and if I get it, I'm gonna be able to turn around and point to all the losers in my comment sections who are like, creator program creators don't give their honest opinions, and I'll be like, look at this, assholes. I do nothing but criticize this fucking company, fair, and I made it in.
To be honest, didn't like a few days ago you call like individual devs like idiots? To be fair,
I did.
Like they might actually like look at that and maybe I don't know.
They might. I might get fucked because of that. But it's like it's not like I applied
like
for the
still,
creator
like you
program.
can look like you can look at Bran basically. Like Bran is like one of the loudest fucking criticizers of this game, and he's in the creator program.
Yeah.
He actually worked with the devs on the Xenomorph, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to balance changes.
Yeah, this community, like, honestly, whenever like people are like, "What is your advice for becoming a Dead by Daylight creator?" Don't take this community seriously whatsoever. That's the number one thing. This community is fucking dumb. But like, this happened when the Fog Whisperers were a thing. Like before they nixed the Fog Whisperer program. This used to happen all the time. People were like, "Oh, Fog Whisperers just never criticized the game," and then I would like point a big arrow at Otz, and I'd be like, what are we saying? Like, yes, they do. Because everybody wants to bring up the fucking Dowsy situation. Dude, I look, I don't want to like shit on people's favorite creator or anything, but like, he like outright like bullied a developer. Like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, the Dowsy situation doesn't prove shit, man.
The people in this community have like I would say unreasonable. Like, they have a very unreasonable hate-born behavior, because like it's easy to bully a developer of your favorite game, I guess. Like, I'm genuinely convinced like making highly critical, non-constructive content when it comes like with criticism towards the game is genuinely like one of the easiest ways to print money on YouTube. Like
Yeah.
releasing a critique video like every other day on how you don't like a specific game system and calling the developers stupid fucking idiots all the time is genuinely like the easiest way to print money in this game.
Yeah. It's something that I noticed like a long time ago. Like one of the biggest things that like drove me away from creating content on Dead by Daylight a time or two when I had to like take a break is that all my like positive or fun videos would get like no views. Like nobody would watch them. Nobody wanted to watch the, you know, here's a build that's not that great, but it's silly and it's a fun time. But the moment I was like, this thing sucks, 10,000 views. Just right there.
Like unless your packaging is like very well made and you understand how to attract a viewer, unless you put like the word toxic, P100 Swift, toxic Swift, toxic streamer in your title, your video is going to flop if you don't understand packaging correctly. Like it's stupid.
And like people like to point to like, you know, some of the bigger YouTubers like JRM and Spooky Loops and that. They've been doing this shit for years though.
They are established.
Yeah.
Like they don't have to do much at this point.
Yeah.
Like they do. Like, don't get me wrong. They do like a lot, but they don't have to do a lot to actually like get results, if you will.
But the funny thing is that if you go...
nobody's going to like click on fucking best on Little Johnny 77.
Yeah.
Like a click compilation from somebody that nobody knows because that like nobody knows that person.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like that's even like that's why my weekly compilations, I still have to come up with like some kind of like tantalizing title and thumbnail or something like that to try to get people to watch. Like,
yeah.
I am in one of my compilations, I had to like act like I was like mad at Skirms. Even though it was just like a one-off joke inside the compilation. And just, that's what you have to do, man. Like, that's why I fucking hate when people are like, because like I did that video about like the AI thumbnails and everything. And this one guy was like, your first half of your video is just talking about AI in general. So you clickbaited people. And I'm like, brother, do you know how YouTube works? If I'd have fucking titled the video a discussion around AI and also here are some AI thumbnails that I found within the DBD community, nobody's clicking on that because that's a mouthful of a title and nobody gives a shit. Like,
I mean, yes and no. Sometimes those do click, like sometimes, but like overall, yeah. Like I agree. Yeah, 100%.
You just have to have. There's a difference between clickbait and clickability that people like don't recognize. Like I do clickable stuff. I don't do clickbait because what I say in my title and thumbnail is what is in the video. That I am talking about those things, and it's never like a small portion.
I sometimes I wouldn't say I do clickbait, but I kind of like modify the truth. Like basically, like I very much simplify what is in the video sometimes to attract viewers.
Yeah, it's called making it clickable. I mean, at the end of the day, like you have to do something to make people want to watch your shit. And that's something that like, because I used to like have people back when I did this regularly. I used to have people come to me and be like, hey, my channel's not getting views, I don't understand, can you help me? And then I go to their channel and their thumbnails are screenshots from the game that they uploaded, and every single one of their videos is I own this toxic survivor or whatever. And it's everything's in fucking 480p, and it was just like, I was like, brother, like the reason your stuff's not doing good is because you're not giving me anything. I have no reason to watch any of your videos. And it has nothing to do with being a small creator. A lot of people are like, oh, small creators get punished. But like recently I released a video where we reacted to a creator. She only had 400 subscribers when I found her. But her video was
like 2K, something like a 1K at least, I think.
I think she did. I think her video,
Lovely.
By the time my reaction went live, her video was like over 10,000 views. So she probably got a decent chunk of subscribers from it. But it's like she blew up, or like Twin Sage Main. When I found Twin Sage Main, she had less than 1,000 subscribers. So it's like, it's not the fact you don't have a lot of subscribers, it's the fact that you're not doing what the algorithm likes. And
it's kind of also this like similar with Twitch. Like again, I'm not gonna say that Twitch doesn't have like shit discoverability, because it does. But like often like people who say that like Twitch is a bad platform for growth, or like Twitch is very bad like at like you cannot blow up on Twitch. Their streams mostly consist of
Yeah, exactly.
the fucking deck.
Yeah,
I hate this game.
Oh,
And like nothing else. It's either
Yeah.
silence or being miserable.
yeah,
Like it's
And-
either or. You have to
and-
attract people by not being like just a little shit, basically, I would say.
yeah, and
Like,
like
having
that's
more fun in games overall is what made me love streaming and what made me actually grow. Like I noticed that like if I have more energy, I don't take the games as seriously in commentary, if you will, because I do like play to win, but I don't like if I get like a hit with something, I say good play, or I can do nothing about that. That's fine. I see like an overall growth in like viewer base because I'm not being a little shit.
Yeah, but and it's like the because like people question me because like when I get really fucking angry and I go into like that silent anger, I just end stream, and people are like, why are we ending stream? It's like, bro, because nobody wants to watch that. Like people have told me they like me because they find my anger funny, and that's why I play into the anger from time to time. But if I'm actually,
I don't know if that's like mean per se, but I definitely sometimes do watch you for like just how you react to the game because it's kind of funny. Like it is like sometimes concerning, but it is kind of funny.
Yeah, but I end it when I get to the point where like I'm no longer pretending, and like
Yeah,
I know when I'm pretending to be more angry than I actually am. But like when I get to the point where it's like silent rage, I gotta get off, man. I gotta get out of there. And like a lot of people don't realize that, man. And that's the other thing too, is like they'll play games they hate, and then they'll be like, well, my viewers don't watch anything else. And I hate to be mean to some of you guys. You have 3 viewers. You can recover by playing something.
you have
else,
no
man.
audience. Yeah,
You like when I quit Apex, I did the whole like, oh, I gotta play Apex because that's the only way I get viewership. I was only getting 3, maybe 5 people if I was like a good day, in terms of streaming Apex Legends. Nobody gave a fuck when I left Apex Legends. There was no loss there. The community didn't really care. Like my audience that I had at the time didn't really care. You're able to switch stuff when you're smaller until you
Like,
find
I'd
something
say-
that makes you happy.
I'd say in creation, like for like YouTube, until you like reach like 1K subscribers on Twitch, if you like reach like a 15K average, not 15K, 15 average on the viewership, you can rebrand with no problems. Like it's not that difficult to regain that audience if you have a good idea.
Correct.
Anyway, this Dredge character.
There was my favorite thing about every single one of these interviews is that we almost never focus on the main. But how did we get here? Jesus fucking Christ. I feel like we started on
I mentioned the recode and then it started, yeah.
Yeah, and then we just like tumbled into content creation and everything. Honestly, there's not much like when it comes to the main. We pretty much covered the, why did you choose the character and why'd you move away from demo?
I mean, we really covered like why I left demo. We didn't really cover why I got into Dredge per se.
Yeah, that's right. I'd asked if the buffs brought you, and what actually brought you to the Dredge?
I am a very big nerd of true crime. Like, not in the weird way. Like, it fascinates me, if you will. I just enjoy that side of it. And Dredge is kinda like a perfect storm of that because not only I am a big true crime nerd, I'm also really like into monsters. I really like monster like designs. And Dredge is a very well designed monster. Like it may be a bit over the top in some angles, but like overall it's a very good design. And like I not only am into like true crime, but I also like to read stories and like watch stories overall about like cults, because like it's fascinating how people can like manipulate the mind so effectively, if you will. I don't know if that's weird, but you know what I mean. And like, you tell me, you make an eldritch being that is constructed off of mass like tragedy and mass negative thought of a cult that is also based on the biggest mass death event until 9/11 in American history.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's perfect for me. That's like perfectly assembled for me in the most non-weird way.
Well, now we know why KMD watches me. It's so he can have first-person experience when I finally snap and go on a fucking murderous rampage.
I will be your day one follower.
So that's why you also picked up the Unknown when he dropped, then.
Yeah. Like I had way bigger hopes for Unknown than like what it actually happened, because like I think my favorite type of monster are cryptids. Like when you live in a Slavic country, like you will be very like a lot of the times people are gonna spread like a lot of local legends, and like Slavic folklore is like very, very cool when it comes to like woods dweller, like shapeshifters, like stuff like that. Like we have a lot of those, and like I really do enjoy this type of stuff. So like when I saw like that there's like a rake like creature coming to the game, I was very excited. And then nothing really came of it, I guess. I don't know why. I just like it didn't hit the same way, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good way to put it.
I love the Unknown, like in terms of lore and even a little bit of its thematics, but I definitely feel like we could have gotten something besides Bomb.
The projectile, yeah. Ball.
Like I always wondered what it would be like to have a character with bombs in Dead by Daylight, and I think that Unknown is pretty fun in that regard. I just don't understand.
Like it's a well-designed kit. It's just not my type of kit. Like it's a bit too micro. I enjoy macro way more in this game.
Yeah,
because I feel way smarter.
Yeah. No, I love. Do you think that Dredge has like a high diversity in the builds that they can use, or are
absolutely not? Motherfucker cannot run 4 types of perks. He has like a very limited build diversity. Like you cannot run stealth perks because you are like what am I fucking saying? You are undetectable for like half of the game. Like it's in the kit for like half of the match. You will never like sneak up on a survivor because you literally appear on top of them when you begin a chase. Like you cannot run stun perks because if you're not throwing the game, you're never gonna get stunned by a pallet. Terror radius perks same as unless you run Dark Devotion. Like, and locker perks don't work with your power. So like no Iron Maiden, but like the other perks can kinda work. But it's just a lot of effort for info that you can just run barbecue. And even if you have good macro, you don't need barbecue or like any info perk in that matter. Like the only info perks you will use if you're high level on Dredge is like Jagged and Field Record, not Field Recorder, okay, Friends Till the End, because they have separate effects. Like they are utility alongside info.
Yeah. Do you think it would be a massive mistake or even good change if Dredge's power like counted as searching lockers, so you could still use like what is that fucking alien perk? It was the
Ultimate Weapon.
Yeah, you could still use like Ultimate Weapon, Iron Maiden, Darkness Revealed, but you do it by like coming out of lockers instead. Like would that be a good change for him?
I mean, I'm kind of concerned how it would end up balance-wise, but I feel like for the sake of build diversity, I would be willing to accept that. Like, it's a mid-tier. What is he gonna fucking do?
Yeah.
Like, unless you dedicated the character, you're not gonna do much with that info.
Yeah. What changes do you think would need to happen for him to be like A tier at least?
Oh my god.
Everything.
Let me pull up my thread. No, not in that way, but I need to pull up my thread because I have an extensive list of changes that we need for this character. God, I hate going on Reddit.
Fair enough.
So I feel like the Remnant itself, like as a mechanic, is kind of perfected. You shouldn't really do anything to the Remnant. I think it's perfect where it is, and unless a major shift in the game changes, we don't really need any changes for that. we have to halve, like, I'm not gonna say we have to, but like I would halve the requirement you need to start Nightfall from 300 to 150 targets. Cooldown rework, like token based, like Baba. So a TP takes like 1 token of your teleport, of your like your power, and a remnant takes 2 tokens. So you can like either like use your remnant and have a 4-second cooldown for your remnant, or you can use remnant and then follow up with a TP. That would be kind of cool. And you also don't have to wait as much after you get out of the locker for a cooldown, because the Dredge does not deserve a cooldown of like 5 token blight, respectfully.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I would say like daytime teleport speed should be like from 22 to 25 meters per second from 19. Add-on pass, please. He has like 5 add-ons. With one add-on slot too. Nightfall accessibility, but that's not really balanced. Lockers as killer props, so they actually spawn next to generators, and they're like more consistent than they already are. Picking up a survivor could pause Nightfall. I think that's not a bad idea.
I like that one.
And like while you're in a locker, not during the teleport to the locker, but like specifically when you're inside of a locker, you can return to your own remnant. So if you misplay and you accidentally TP across the map, you have to actually like get punished by waiting until you end up at the locker to teleport to your remnant. So you cannot like just like basically put a survivor in a loser scenario where you TP to a locker in front of them and you have a remnant, and if they double back they get hit. If they don't double back they also get hit. So
yeah,
like whenever you're in a locker you should be able to teleport, but not during the actual teleport. 24-meter turn radius wouldn't hurt. It sounds like you're gonna use TR perks and like maybe a lunge increase after you leave a locker, debatably. It's not really must have, but like that's what I would do.
Yeah.
And off hook incentives. Like every killer needs hook incentives at this point.
Needs what?
Like they did for like hook incentives. Like they did it for 9.2. Yeah. Every killer needs their own specific hook incentive.
Yeah, no, I
don't know, Nightfall like starts for like 20 seconds after you hook someone. Probably not that. I had like a list of those I could find. 1 second.
That was actually like the 9.2 update, as fucking horrendous as it is. I was never against the idea of incentivizing separate hooks.
Yeah, the issue is that it penalizes people for no reason.
Yeah, like instead of it, because like you always as a killer, you only know this if you like truly main killer, but like you always need to have the option to get somebody out of the game.
Yeah,
I get it's not fun for survivors to get tunneled, and unfortunately, and people have called me an asshole for this, you know who doesn't get tunneled? People who are good at the game. Like, you don't, unless the killer is either stupid or they're equal skill level to the survivor. If you're hard to catch, you most of the time aren't going to get tunneled. And if you are, you're most of the time winning because you're wasting so much time. Like, a fundamental macro of killer play is do not stay on someone you can't catch.
People have way more fun in this game if they play this game like a team game.
Yes.
As it is. Like, people play 1v4 in every way that they play this game. They play 1v4 when they kill survivor and killer.
Yeah.
And they should start thinking of survivor like as a team effort. Like Counter-Strike, I don't fucking know.
No, I agree. It's one of the things. It's one of the things where, because like I was speaking about this the other night. Like, I played. No, it was actually last night. We played a game on Chucky where Anae didn't get hooked at all. She didn't die until the very end of the game. And the reason is because every time I would go after her, she would just sprint burst into Narnia, and I'm a 4.4 killer. I'm not chasing that. I'm just going to turn around and go after her team. And that kind of thing happens in so many games, and then at the end of it, the survivors are like, why didn't you ever hook this person? Why'd you ignore this person? Because I'm not chasing a bad chase. I'm not taking a bad chase. And
They
so
didn't force aggro. Like,
yeah,
duh.
like they didn't body block. They didn't try to force me into a situation where I have to chase them. They just ran away or stealthed or stealthed. That's not a fucking word.
Stealthed.
They ran away or they stealthed or they, you know, they became unhookable. And it's like, why would I go after a person that I can't make forward progress on? I'm just going to go after somebody else. That's just how the game works. But people don't see that. And it's because a lot of if more Survivor players, even those in solo queue, if more Survivor players played as a team, you would win more games. You would see more escapes. You would have less issues with some of the killers you have issues with, because there's so many killers that only thrive in the 1v1, like Clown, or even Sadako to an extent. Dredge is a big one. Like Dredge could do the one.
Sadako is a heavy disagree, I would say, in terms of 1v1.
You think Sadako is more of a 1v4 killer? I don't think.
She's an exclusively macro kill Kaiser. Like if you're not on your condemn cycle, you are not playing Sadako. You're playing Dredge that doesn't have anything else besides the lockers, and the lockers also have a cooldown.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like you're right on that. But like, so there's so many weak killers that people have problems with. But like, even like my main Jason, like people get on me all the time for saying Jason is fair to play against. They're like, no, he's not fair. I'm like, well, maybe if you stop being stupid. Like, stop crouching for 700 years because you're so scared of getting in a chase, and learn how to pay attention, because Jason can't just appear on top of you. He can't just pop out of his omnipresent and be directly on your ass. Like, I was playing
one of my favorite examples of what you're saying right now is that, like, if you know how there's a god palette on the stairs of RPD, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to the room right, exactly to the right, in the room exactly to the right of that god palette, when you're looking like at the statue, there's this like typewriter like room, right?
Yeah.
And it also always has a palette.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay in the connector between the main room and the typewriter room, you are basically guaranteed to have a palette against Jason.
Yeah.
Because he has to pick which side he wants to zone you from. Like, he either pushes you to that side, to one wing, or he pushes you back into the main side of the map.
Yeah, yeah. It's literally about like what people hate about his teleport is solved by simply understanding how the character plays.
It's positioning.
Yeah, it's all about positioning. And the thing is like what a lot of people don't realize is that that positioning thing applies to every killer in the game, just at a different level. Like, how many times have you caught somebody on, like, I don't know how often you play Trapper, but like playing Trapper, how often times do you catch somebody because they're on the wrong side of the gen? Like, if they were on the side of the gen that faces the resources, then you wouldn't get the hit. But because they decided to sit on the opposite side of the gen, and you come from that side, then they panic because they sprint burst into the generator or whatever, because they're not sitting where they need to be. People don't think about that. Like, I used to think that Survivor was just like super simple, that you just don't have to think at all. And I mean, it's gotten more autopilot these days for sure, but there's so many so many little things in the Survivor gameplay loop that people just don't pay attention to. Like,
there's a reason why Survivor only gets perks as content drop, because the main gameplay of the role is perfected, I would say. Yeah. It's just that perks break it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Like, I mean, I've had people, like, when I was talking about Dredge one day, ages ago, like, I think like 2 years ago, I was talking about Dredge, and I mentioned that I thought Dredge was really strong, but I said that a lot of counterplay to him is simply understanding when Dredges typically teleport. Which is also why I like playing the Dredge, because then there's a dynamic. Who's gonna fuck up first? Is it gonna be the Dredge player or the Survivor?
Yeah.
But I'm sure you've had that where people think the Dredge is overpowered, and it's just simply them not understanding how to play against the character.
Dude, one of my funniest fucking anecdotes about this type of discussion is when Bailey told me, you know Bailey Kassir.
Yeah.
Bailey told me that day one of Dredge's PTB, they thought Dredge was S tier because he cannot do anything against them in chase.
Dude. Even well, Rowby's. Did you ever watch Rowby's Jerk Guide to the Dredge?
I watched it once and I completely forgot about it after I watched it.
But in that one, he
Pretty
was
sure.
like, in that one, Rowby was like, the Dredge has everything. They have anti-loop and information and so much gigantic map presence. And I'm sitting there watching it like, I'm pretty sure the Dredge was dog shit up until recently. I remember.
It was genuinely a harmless killer until 8.2. Until 8.2, he had no power, basically. He was, like, I mean, not like that, but like he was majorly dependent on what the survivor did.
Yeah, like I loved the like Dredge conceptually when I first started playing, but over time as I got more experience, before the Dredge's buffs, it just everything happened too slow. Everything about the Dredge was just so slow, and it gave you so much time as the survivor to react.
And for some reason, the only change on the backfix patches of the release patch of the Dredge, like 6.0.1 or something like that, the only thing that they changed about the character was visibility ranges in Nightfall. Nothing else.
Oh my god, dude!
Like it was the weird era of DBD where they changed nothing from the PTB. Besides, like, I don't know, lighting on Eerie of Crows, which I still mourn. Like, old Eerie lighting from the PTV was fucking gorgeous. It was so, like, orange.
There was a bogus, you have time to go edit it, we're not to the community section yet. There was a reshade filter. I had to stop using reshade on my old computer because it would tank my fucking frames. But there was a reshade filter that made Eerie of Crows look like overcast, and I loved that lighting so much. I was like, man, I wish they would put this as like a base lighting in the game. Like it had like this beautiful like stormy weather look. That's another reason I can't wait for the graphical update. Oh my god, I can't. This game's gonna look so gorgeous when none
of my old like ultra bloomy and ultra saturated presets for reshade turned like Crotus Pren into fucking old Coldwind.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dude, that sounds amazing, bro.
Dude,
I'm so like I look at like some of the older maps and I'm like, man, this game used to have so much atmosphere.
Like the game objectively has higher quality of content, right? Like purely visually, like objectively, it's higher quality, quote unquote. But they have no art style. This game has no art style.
Right.
Like back when the game focused on like watercolor, it was way more thematic. Like I'm genuinely convinced that the Switch killed this game, in a way, because of the Switch we sacrificed so much quality. Like the animations of killers fading in and out and turning into auric cells when the entity like swaps characters for you. Like that was fucking ultra detailed. The smoke, the everything, like the palette loops were very detailed. Did you know that Father Campbell's Chapel has a third floor?
No, I know.
Yeah, it has a third floor, but it's blocked off. But it was blocked off. Like it was blocked off in the original days, and now with the Realm Beyond, they just remove the first floor completely with Realm Beyond.
I've been saying that we need a third floor map for a long time.
I mean, it wasn't a gameplay area; it was like blocked off, like it was just a decoration. But like they completely removed it.
Yeah,
and the circus had dynamic lighting. Maurice had blood effects on their mouth and shit like that. Like, shit was way more detailed. Because they had like they considered themselves an art style, but because they didn't have to support something that still runs the game at 30 FPS maximum, like they just dropped the art style completely. Like they sacrificed so much quality in this game, and the game ran like smoothly, but they sacrificed like the entire identity of the game for the sake of both the Switch and we are better at making shit now, so we're not gonna stick to an art style. We're just gonna make shit more realistic and. This game looks like fucking Grand Theft Auto. Like, I'm sorry, this is not realistic.
Yeah. And it really like it's because like on the one hand, like, yeah, cool, we allow Switch players to play, but the funny thing is that they made these sacrifices for the Switch, but then Switch players get fucked over still. Like, one of my mods is a Switch player, and she is constantly missing out on updates because it takes too long to get them, losing crossplay because it takes too long to get the updates out to them, having all of these different bugs that are specific to the console happen. Like, I'm sorry, but if you can't find a way to develop for a console, you just need to not develop for that console.
I will be fucking astonished if they don't drop the Switch for the visual rework. They should.
Yeah.
Like, they should. The 7 Switch players genuinely will not matter enough for this game in the long span.
Yeah.
Like, please, sell your Switch, buy a Steam Deck. You can emulate Pokemon.
Like, yeah. Yeah,
for legal reasons, this is a joke. You cannot legally emulate stuff. Nintendo, please do not sue me. Thank you very much. I do not condone piracy. Wink, wink. Fuck Adobe.
Oh my god! Just fucking like the one dude at Nintendo that's got decision making comes across a fucking 7,000 subscriber YouTube channel and hears you say that. It's like, this guy in Poland, we're nuking his ass.
Yeah, they're sending the Nintendogs for me.
They're sending the Nintendogs.
No, but like, look, dude, I'm looking at the screenshots of Cold Tower right now, and I'm comparing them with like retro Cold Tower. Like, this looks so OG DBD. Like, if they nailed the lighting correctly, like, and if they nuke the Switch from the face of the earth, like, this will be like OG DBD. Genuinely, like, it's gonna be perfect. They just need to lock the fuck in and not like actually find an art style. Because like Macmillan looks fucking beautiful. Because it's dark again. It's not just white, yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
It's not like a fucking Tuesday afternoon. It's actually night.
Yeah, Tuesday afternoon. Oh, man. All right. Well, we're reaching the hour mark, so let's go ahead and hop into the community section, because I'm sure this will lead us down another hour-long tangent. I enjoy these videos so much. All right, so the way that I do community sections, we always do our channel members first, and then we go from first come first serve type of deal. So the only channel member to leave a question was Average Oni. They said, what would your favorite music artist or band be?
Someone comes to music artist. I would say Camellia, probably. Camellia is probably my favorite music artist. When it comes to Camellia, as in like the hardcore like producer, like electronic music, I really listen to like a lot of electronic music. But when it comes to like band and or group, like I listened a lot to Linkin Park, Bring Me the Horizon, Spirit Box, Evanescence a bit. What else? Into open music. Fuck. Fuck. There's this like very independent, like indie underground band called Twisted. I like their stuff a lot. Anyone else I'm forgetting? Baby Metal. Yeah, Baby Metal. And Poppy.
That's a good selection of bands. My answer is easy. My favorite music artist is Hosier, and my favorite band is Sleep Token.
Hell yeah.
I felt I did so like Sleep Token, obviously, like when they were like blowing up in like 2024 or whatever. That's when I got into them, and like I fell in love with their style. And then Hosier, I only knew him from Take Me to Church for like years. And then recently on TikTok, his song Too Sweet, you know, I'll take my whiskey neat. That one blew up. And I was like, oh, I really like this song. Oh, it's the Take Me to Church guy. And so I was like, let me go listen to his discography. And then I was like transported into another fucking world. And I was just like, oh, so now this guy's my favorite music artist of all time. Like, I don't think he's got a bad song. But yeah, that's
oh, yeah.
I love music, man. It's for a long time it was hard to choose like favorites, but I think those two just overshoot everybody.
Nice.
Loggy Links asks, darkness isn't scary, it's annoying, especially on console. How would you change Nightfall, or would you change it at all?
I would change it mostly to accommodate for accessibility. But I would also like to make it a bit more scary. I would just like I high key would just like copy paste the code they have for lights out. Like limit just vision distance straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you can remove you can keep like one layer of the ambience, but you shouldn't stack screens on top of that. The screens are not necessary at all.
Yeah.
Like you can just keep like the drone that's like going on.
Yeah. I mean,
That'll be fine.
Yeah. I feel like the whole darkness isn't scary is like kind of a, how do I say this without being a dick? It's so hard to not be an asshole. It's kind of a useless qualifier because no horror game is going to be scary after your 400th time playing it, no matter what they do. Like, you can get jump scared, sure, but like pretending like there is any way to make this game scary without like completely shifting what the game actually is. Like even FNAF got unscary after people played it for the 300th time or whatever. Like when it first came out, it was like, oh, this jump scares YouTubers, but then like you had that Markiplier speed run where like the Freddy Fazbear showed up and he was like, yeah, whatever, we lost, and just moved on. Like you're not getting that horror element back after playing this game for 1,000 hours or whatever, or 500 hours. It's just not happening. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Bogus, typical question, says, if you were forced to join the entity's realm, but were given an option of choosing killer or survivor, which one would you choose and why? And then it says, comes with all the benefits and downsides of a role. So if you choose killer, you don't have it in yourself to do the entity's bidding. It's torture time. And then, and I'm going to mispronounce the fuck out of this, Polska Gurum.
Polska Gurum. When it comes to that, I've been thinking about it like a lot before this interview. I genuinely can't tell, because I believe that like every person can like say whatever they want when it comes to, oh, what would you do in this situation? Like you can say all that fucking shit. You will act like completely 180 from what you think.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever watch like 28 Weeks Later, like that guy, I forgot his fucking name. I'm sorry, it's my favorite horror series, but I completely forgot what he was called. Probably because Weeks was the worst movie of the franchise, even though it's super good. Like, he is completely reasonable to run away and leave his fucking family to die in that house. Like, you don't know what you would do in that kind of situation. So, like, I would love to say, oh, I would be a survivor because I love helping people and I also don't want to kill people. But motherfucker, I'm in a realm of an eldritch god which will torture me for the rest of my life to harness emotions from me. Would you choose making difficult social dilemmas on basically a daily basis, suffering through immeasurable pain all the time, or having to put 4 people on meat hooks sometimes?
Yeah.
I think that the decision is clear here.
It's fair.
Like it's self-preservation. Like every like you can say anything, but unless you have some real hard fucking nerves, you will choose self-preservation. Like as a human being, and not like as an organism in general.
It's interesting. It's kind of like, did you see the red button, blue button question that was circulating the internet a while back?
I'm not sure.
So the question is, every single person on Earth is transported into a room, and there's a red button and a blue button. If you press the red button, you survive 100% of the time. But if you press the blue button and at least 50% of people press the blue button, everybody survives. Which one would you choose? I always said I would press the blue button, because then everyone survives regardless of which button they pressed. If at least half of the world's population pressed the blue button. And a lot of times it was like tested as like, how is your, how selfish are you? But I also think it's a question of how selfish do you think humanity is? And maybe I'm naive for it, and I know a lot of people like are surprised to hear this coming from me given my intense hatred of this world and the state it's in, but I have faith that the average person would press the blue button.
I think this question is fucking stupid, but because if we're all teleported to the same room, we can just say, hey everyone, let's press the blue fucking button.
No, it's you're teleported to your own individual. It's your own room KMP.
Okay, fair enough. Never mind then.
Oh my god. Bogus wants me to ask you like specifically about Polska Garum. Context? Wait, what's the translation?
Polska Garum means like Poland rocks or something like that. Like hell yeah, Poland or something like that. Basically, like the concept behind this is that like there's this one clip of like fuck, what was the word? Like an athlete, if you will, like a super athlete, basically. Mariusz Pudzianowski. He's kind of famous like all over the world because like he's considered the strongest man in Poland, basically. And like in an interview, he just looks at the camera, like holds up his fist, shaking it, and says "Polska Górom." It's basically that. Like, it's funny.
It's sorry, this is just like a side tangent. But it's really I love talking. I like hearing you talk because I have a friend of mine who's well, it's a friend of my dad's. He's a friend of the family who's Hindu. He's from India, and you and him have the same cadence because you both speak two languages, and English is not your first language. So I hear, I don't know if everybody else does, I've just learned to pick up on it, but I can hear when you're translating what you're saying in your head. And it's so cool. I love talking to people who English isn't their first language, but they do speak English fluently, because you have to translate everything before you say it. It's got to be a pain in the ass.
It is.
The Apexian says, what do you generally think of more poorly designed perks like Shoulder the Burden, Sprint Burst, and Blood Favor? To name a few, how would you change or rework them better to reward skillful gameplay?
You will hate me so much.
I already hate you.
Question. Yeah, I know. I think that... Oh fuck, my alarm, whatever. I think like a lot of the designs in this game are very hard to salvage, and the best you can do overall is to just add requirements to activating it. So for example, I don't know, nowhere to hide, enduring, blood favor, stuff like that. Hook one person to activate the perk for like the next use of it, or like I don't know, something like that. Like blood favor is Devour Hope at 3 stacks at 5 gens. What are we fucking doing? Why does it have no proc con? It's ridiculous, in my opinion.
I just don't agree. I think it being a hex is the con. Like hexes like until they change hexes to not be like so RNG countered, I think you need hexes to be that strong. Cause like what happens when we have a hex like Third Seal? Its effect is not strong enough to care, right? Nobody runs it because nobody gives a shit. So if you all of a sudden make it to where Blood Favor has to have a hook to like before it can proc one time, why would you ever run a
I mean the
totem
doesn't have to be like on the map before it activates.
Right, but
like,
then you
activates the perk.
But then like okay, so like in this world, right? You hook the survivor, Blood Favor lights a totem, and then you get one time where you block the gens before you have to hook someone else, but then the totem's just sitting there ready to be cleansed, right? Unless you want it to revert to a dull totem before you're able to hook before you hook the next person.
I mean, I feel like the perk just creates a very unfair scenario and creates a lot of pressure that's not really rewarded because like every fucking killer in the game can hit a basic attack with no problems, in my opinion, at least. Like I feel like if we're balancing the game around agency, which I consider a healthy thing in the game, I feel like Bloodfeather needs to input the work it does, because if it doesn't, then there's zero reason why the Devour shouldn't be activated at 5 gens with 5 stacks already like applied, because you can cleanse the hex, you know. That's the negative part of the hex, right?
But I think that Devour is so much stronger than.
I don't agree.
I feel like. Okay, so you're saying that Bloodfavor is Devour at 3 stacks at 5 gens, which is the exposed.
Yes.
But
it's a 2-tap machine.
It can be, but if survivors would stop being stupid, because like how many times have, I don't know how if you use Bloodfavor because you don't like the perk, but I can't tell you how many times I've hit a survivor and instead of taking their speed boost to try to make it to another loop or get to a window or something like that, they get hit and then they stop and then they turn around to go drop a pallet that can't be dropped because it's being blocked, and then they get 2-tapped. Like, stop.
I mean, it will happen in the first phase, which is definitely advantage of Bloodfavor. Like, it will happen in the first phase 100%. But in other encounters, it will be a bit weaker, but it will still cause the pressure, because, like, keep in mind, this is 32 meters. This is your terror radius. Okay,
I will give you that. We can reduce the meters. I will 100% be on board with that.
I'm sorry, Kaiser. Unless you have an exhaustion perk, you cannot make another pallet after you get hit. It's physically impossible.
At 32 meters, it's physically impossible. Sure. But at 16 meters, you can do it. Because when you get hit, you can make it.
It's either you decrease the range or you have a requirement to activate the perk.
Yeah, I'm down with decreasing the range to like 16 meters or something like that. Like 16, 20 meters, something in that range. I'm 100% on board with that. I don't like the idea of an activation requirement, because then I feel like you have an activation requirement on top of it being a hex. It's just hexes are just too weak. Like, I feel like if you're gonna like talk about hex perks that are quote too strong or need certain things done, we have to also talk about, and that's what makes balancing this game so fucking hard. We have to also talk about how to fix the fucking problem of hexes being too weak or too RNG reliant. It's like
find them better.
Yeah, it's
because of this better positioning.
Yeah, it's such a like, I don't know, like for Nowhere to Hide, we're talking about pulling in the range, but if the problem, like most people have told me, the problem is like Nurse and Blight, right? You kick a gen and then you rush with Blight.
Agree. I think the problem with Nowhere to Hide is just that, like, it compensates for lack of game sense. Like, I am a big believer of the fact that if you have good game sense on the killer and you want to focus on actually getting item protected, you will pay attention to how it's getting progressed, and you will check around the generator to find someone ratting in the area. And Nowhere to Hide just deletes that interaction, and it removes killer expression on the survivor side from actually like knowing how to effectively hide from the killer to progress the generator. I just think the perk is unfair. It compensates for bad macro, and if I had to change it, I would change it to just show you the aura of a survivor that last work on the generator after you hook a survivor and kick the generator. That's how it's out of it.
But my issue with that argumentation is that, okay, it's like earlier we were talking about how people treat this game, they don't treat this game like a team game. And if you're always hiding from the killer, you're never taking anything from the killer, that's what loses games 99% of the time. So I think that taking away...
I think in like this scenario, you specifically are hiding from the killer to progress the objective of the game, which is compensated, which is like adding something to the team. You are contributing to the game. Like, if you're not going to chase someone, then do a gen. Much time is gen time. You know who said that.
Right. But it's the sprint bursting nay example from earlier, right? If I go to a generator and I don't see anybody and I search around the area and I check every fucking corner, every nook and cranny, and I can't catch the survivor because they know how to effectively manipulate the camera, which some survivors are good at. I've had it where there's a gen being worked on and I can't find the survivor no matter what the fuck I do. Like they know how to walk around the rock well enough and stuff. If I'm never finding that guy and he's always on his
then you got
generator,
outplayed.
But in turn, I kill his 3 teammates because they don't hide that well. And then he gets hatch. That's not healthy team play. If you never ever take aggro, even if you're working on a generator, if you never take aggro and your team,
I understand that, Kaiser. I understand that. And I agree that like in an ideal world we take aggro effectively. However, if in that scenario, I think the person that is hiding is not doing anything bad. It's just that the teammates cannot hold themselves in place for long enough for the generator to be progressed. Because if you're saying that implies that outside of the time that the killer checks on the generator they're working on, all of their match time is on a gen. That is 100% the fault of their teammates for dying too fast. In that case.
Sure, but I don't like the idea. It's the same reason we changed distortion. I don't like the idea of promoting hiding all game. But at the same time...
distortion promoted by design because it's free value. It's not earned. Like, distortion currently is fine because it rewards you for good play.
Yeah, I think on a hot take, I think we could bring distortion back up to 3 tokens because now you gain them in juice.
Yeah, I agree.
I
prevalent like aggro reading is in this game, I would 100% agree.
Yeah, I firmly...
Like, it's like... You can give people bullshit effects like enduring nowhere to hide and blood favor if they have to work for it. Like, it's not that the perk is fundamentally bad design, it's the fact that it doesn't reward you for anything.
Yeah, I mean...
It's a free value. Like, you can fucking turn your brain off and swing into every pallet like you had in that compilation, know this, on Nemesis. But, like, at that point, like, what are you achieving? You're not achieving anything, you're just getting handheld by the game. Which, from what I heard, hand-holding is bad in the design of the game.
Sure, but like the thing is like I don't know, because like you said you don't like Enduring Fury, but then do you not consider having to break multiple pallets to activate one Spirit Fury earning it?
No, I think Spirit Fury is fine. I think that Enduring is fucking overtuned. I think Enduring needs a proc condition. I think Enduring needs a proc condition. Hook 2 unique survivors to get Enduring.
For the rest of the game?
Yes.
Sure. I'll give you that. I'm okay with that. Yeah. Yeah. If it's for the rest of the game, sure. Yeah.
Because like you have to get through 2 chases.
Right.
On unique survivors.
Yeah.
So they have at least like 2 minutes of no end fury, basically.
Sure. Yeah. I'm okay with that. I don't see a world where we need to give a activation condition to nowhere to hide that doesn't completely gut the perk. Because like if you only get 1 nowhere to hide proc every single time you hook a survivor, I could see giving it a token based system maybe, but then I don't even know about that because like the whack isn't that great. It's better than it used to be, 100%.
I think you're underrating proc in that scenario. I think whack is a very useful mid-chase info perk.
Sure, but it's not as good as it's too reliant on something I learned with Jason is that it's too reliant on people dropping pallets, which doesn't happen as much as I thought it would. But I don't know. I agree with not giving free value, but I feel I feel like if we suddenly have to give every single perk activation conditions, then we put ourselves into a worse corner than where we currently are at. You know what I mean?
And that's why my idea for like a nowhere to hide rework is not only like you have to activate it manually, but like whenever you kill a gen, you reveal the last few survivors at the gen. Meaning that if survivors only work on generators they have to do to effectively play the game and not free them themselves, then you can just counterplay it by not doing gens you shouldn't be doing.
Oh,
and if that's the case,
reveal survivors, would you still have a range limit?
No, I don't think it needs a range limit, because in that case, if you want to progress a gen, what you do is you just swap out the survivor every time the killer does a run. So the survivor with the least hook states takes the most aggro. And they can just bum rush across the map to where the generators are not. And that is actually engaging gameplay with the perk. And not just denying skill expression in that case. Because then it involves like intelligence.
I'm not mad
But
at that at all.
Nowhere to Hide just doesn't take any brain cells to use, I'm sorry.
Because then you still would be punishing rat gameplay by because if you have a survivor that just keeps tickling a generator and instantly going, the terror radius is there for 2 seconds, let me go, so it still punishes rat gameplay while rewarding
it's not like it punishes rat gameplay, but like it punishes rat gameplay, yes. Like it like circumvents good gameplay from the survivor when it comes to ratting, but it's earned, and you can replace trying to effectively hide by taking aggro with the perk. If you know that the killer has nowhere to hide, with that rework in mind, what you do is like every time the killer just kicks a generator, you run across the map to bait their aura read, so they either waste the aura read and don't get the chase, and your teammates are safe, or they go across the map and they lose the game.
True. I'd say the only implication with that rework that I would give is I would do a token-based system instead of hook activate.
Sure. So you can save your stacks. So you can save your stacks for later.
That's my only thing, because I have had like games with nowhere to hide where I don't have time to kick a gen because I'm always in chase, and so by like the third survivor hooked, then I finally kick a gen. So yeah, as long as we give it a token-based system, I'm not mad at that rework idea.
My pet peeve with Pop Goes the Weasel is that if they figured out how to do it in UI, they could do it for Pop. So you get several Pops in your equipment, but they do timeout. Like, that would be my dream change to Pop. Is that you can have several procs of Pop, so you can actually like hook people and still save your Pops. But they do timeout eventually, like the usual cooldown.
I feel like the token system is highly underused in this game. Like, there's a lot of token systems, but I feel like there could be so much more.
Agree. But I feel like they just don't try to mix design ideas. Like, you can have a perk be active for like a time limit and it work with tokens in mind.
That does sound cool, actually.
Yeah, like you should be able to mix like design archetypes.
Yeah, no, I agree. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you completely changed my mind on nowhere to hide. I love that idea. That actually
because
sounds, that sounds like so much more of a fun perk to use.
Yeah, because my dream idea for this game is that like we balance the game around rewarding skill expression without taking out agency if it's not earned. Because if you remove like people's agencies, then you have VHS, where the killer doesn't do anything because they get stunned every 3 seconds.
I've never played VHS.
And like genuinely Kaiser, I feel like you would very much change the way how you look at the game if you try to engage with the community more and definitely play more Survivor. Because I'm not even talking about Twitter. If you definitely like talk to a lot of more people, you would like definitely change your mind how the game works. And
I play a lot.
Maybe you would view like the recent developers team, for example, way more positively. Like I talk a lot with Zoe, Zarkom, I talk a lot with Goose, Revium, Toofy, and like my view of the game changed so much more for the positive. Like I still acknowledge the issues with the game, but I just have more fun because I acknowledge that like things are out of my control and some things just are heavily like recognized by the community to be wholesome chungers cool, but they actually are fucking miserable to go against, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's a misconception that I don't play a lot of Survivor. I do play a lot of Survivor. I just don't play it on stream. I find Survivor, I find the Survivor role to be very boring to play on stream because I never figured out quite how to commentate it. Because like, how do you commentate? My name is Richard and I'm sitting on a generator.
Yeah,
like,
my point here is that it's more of like, I don't like the mindset of don't run things you don't like facing on the opposite side. But keep that in mind for balance and be right back. I have to close my door.
Yeah, like that's why I know how strong the Survivor role is currently, It's not just that I play killer and I don't win against something and I throw my hands up and go, oh my god, this is too broken. It's that I'm playing on the survivor side with the knowledge that I do have 400 pallets right next to each other, and I do have perks that give free value for absolutely no fucking reason. And I also do see frustrations from certain perspectives, but like I also feel like a lot of times when I say something, people say you just don't play Survivor because they're not seeing what I see when I do play it. Like I said that
Yeah, I get it.
I said that Jason is fair to play against, and I get people telling me that he's actually broken, but because I have both the perspective of being a Jason main and the perspective of playing Survivor against Jason,
You can form a opinion that includes both like perspectives.
yeah. And that's why I think Jason is fair to play against, because like we were talking about earlier, there's Jason, counterplaying to Jason is not just crouch walk when you see fog. It is where the pallets and windows and breakable doors on certain maps. It's where am I at in relation to those things, and am I in a state where I can take a chase from the Jason? Because if you don't think about those things, yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. I'm sorry that the character requires more thought than sprint burst to the next pallet. You know what I mean?
And I feel like one of the best like examples of how saying both sides and just like criticizing your own beliefs on this game helps like out a lot is Death Hard. I used to fucking despise Death Hard, but like the moment I like actually played with the perk, I still regularly play with it because it's just fucking fun to get rewarded for like skilled input.
Yeah.
And I noticed how much like timing and like the skill the perk takes to use.
Yep.
I appreciate the perk a lot because like now I never get hit by Death Hard because what I just do is I follow the survivor and I start a fucking grill on their back. Just fucking chilling, waiting, reading a book until they fucking press E. And I get the down for free because I don't get hit by Death Hard. Like, the only times I do get hit by Death Hard is when the person actually like is a fucking great mind manipulator. Like they play fucking Doorman in Deadlock.
Yeah, no, and like that's the thing too. Like I've had killer mains get mad at me because I'm like, bro, I like Dead Hard. I think after the nerf where it's like you can only use it once per unhook, I thought it became a perfectly healthy, cool perk. I like Dead Hard.
There are only 3 healthy exhaustion perks in the game. That's Smash Hit, Dead Hard, Head On. Thank you very much. Everything else needs a redesign in some way.
100%. What? Light? Yeah. Life might need a little bit. But yeah, no, I like Dead Hard. Old Adrenaline before its nerf, I only ever agreed with removing the being healed as soon as you get unhooked thing. Outside of that,
Freddy
I thought.
Interaction.
What's that?
Freddy got countered by Adrenaline.
Yeah, Freddy got that was so stupid, man. Thematic, but fucking dumb. So I liked old Dead Hard. I have a video coming out this week, so after we're done recording this, I have a video coming out where I actually like Hyperfocus. I don't like the Hyperfocus Stakeout combo, but I think Hyperfocus is a really cool perk. I think it's one of the coolest designed perks in the game. And, you know, so I tell people all the time, like, there are strong... I want survivors to have strong perks. I just don't want perks that win you the game by you simply equipping them. And so, and I'm also
like Death Hard and Blood Favor, and not Death Hard fucking Enduring.
Blood Favor is not a free win, but I do agree with reducing its range.
Wee.
Eat me, okay. But like also too, like I feel like maybe I'm like being overly defensive here. But I feel like a lot of people think that I'm not willing to change my mind on things.
Yeah,
I'm more than willing. I've done it. I mean, we did it 2 minutes ago.
I mean, if someone's watching this video, then they already know that you can.
Yeah, like, you know, it's just I don't want to ever be biased, but I do recognize that I do have a bit of a killer bias, and I think it's just frustrations, man. I'm just so frustrated.
Again, like as I said earlier, like genuinely, if you have the time, then definitely like check this, like just talk to people on Twitch. You will change your mindset so much. Like genuinely, like Rev, Goose, and Toothy are like some of the smartest fucking people I ever met. And Zoe too. Like Zoe is like incredibly fucking intelligent when it comes to like game design.
Zoe that's the dude with the antlers, right?
Yeah.
Zoe is legitimately one of the smartest Dead by Daylight creators in this fucking game.
Yeah.
I think Zoe's intelligence is rivaled by like Otz and Hins. Like,
Yep.
just genuinely one of the smartest fucking people I've ever seen. Okay, Dak says, if you could give Dredge a licensed skin from any series, what would it be?
I would give the Dredge the skin of the, like, a skin from one of my favorite franchises ever, Ghost Runner. I would give Dredge a skin of Mado the Dismantler, and you might be very confused because this franchise is so obscure. But I sent you 2 images, before and after transformation. And I want specifically the second form. This would fuck so hard, bro.
That would actually be sick. That would actually genuinely be sick. I'm trying to think. Dude, Dredge is such a uniquely designed killer. Also, the Eddie skin is my favorite killer skin of all time.
I have a slightly negative opinion on Eddie because I think it's just too unique for the character and it's kinda out there. A bit too much for me. I don't like Eddie too much because, yeah, it's just like it. I don't want to say it doesn't fit on Dredge, but I think it's just a bit too out there.
It's not necessarily a license. I would love to give Dredge like a Cerebrus skin. Cerebus.
Dude,
The
fuck yes.
three-headed dog, dude. A Cerebus skin for Dredge would go so fucking hard, man.
Dude, I played Hades like a few days ago. I mean, I've been playing it for like the last 50 hours, but like I love Hades. Hades is so good.
Dude, a Cerebus skin would go sick. Okay, SSR Wizard Guy says, my question is, what do you think about killer anxiety, especially for people with high-functioning autism, who are killer mains and don't like playing Survivor? Okay, there's a second question in here. We'll get to that in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Killer anxiety.
I feel like they're...
Go for
Sorry,
it.
go on. No.
You're the guest.
Fuck you.
Guest
Okay.
right.
I feel like killer anxiety is a valid concern. I definitely do get I do understand the anxiety of like just reading up and getting into a match in general, because of how you are the main character of the trial. Basically, you are the most unique like presence in Dead by Daylight, if you will, and the most important one. But I feel like the topic is very prone to being milked, if you will. And there's, I'm not gonna say who, but there's this guy who I counted made like 13 videos on killer anxiety in a year.
Jesus.
And almost every single one of them is the exact same. As I said at the beginning of this interview, this is the easiest way to print money in this community, in this like YouTube game.
Yep.
Like, it's not that deep.
Yeah,
there definitely like is a thing that exists, and I do not envy anyone who struggles with it. But also there's this, like, I feel like there's a lot of solutions that a lot of people could just at least try to implement. I'm not gonna say I will not understand, but I feel like endgame chat is so easy to hide, and unknown mode is so easy to turn on. That part of it is so negligible, in my opinion. Because like, unless you're like a public figure, it's so difficult to find someone who uses unknown mode and doesn't interact with endgame chat. Like, you can solve that issue like pretty simply. So like, I feel like that's easily circumventable. When it comes to like the actual experience in game, that's just a matter of balance, unfortunately, and like accessibility of the game. What was I going to say? I lost the thread. Yeah, I feel like people should try to, like, I'm not gonna say like I'm the smartest fucking person ever, but I feel like my mindset is very effective in playing this game. I basically just focus on self-improvement. I try to like always get better at the game, but I just acknowledge that some things are out of my control and I do not beat myself up over it. Like, if I get put on fucking family residence, my win con is 1k. Like, I just acknowledge that some things are just out of my control, and I focus on getting so good at the game that the only thing that can stop me is just bullshit.
Yeah.
And I try to like be as objective as possible about what I can deal with, and that genuinely like improves my enjoyment of the game so much, because I can call out what's a skilled play on the opponent side, and I can tell when they're just LARPing using the fucking Tuxedo Ace skin. and they think they're like on DBD League.
Right. Yeah, I haven't made a video on killer anxiety yet. I've had people ask me to, but the reason I haven't, and also this question applies to me because I'm also high functioning autistic. The thing about killer anxiety is that while I definitely recognize its existence, I also think that a lot of it has to do with, how do I say this nicely? A lot of it has to do with people's perceptions getting kind of fucked.
It's self-imposed, if you will,
I
in a way.
don't like calling it anxiety. I more call it what's a word I'd use
Performance, like
yeah, it like
fear,
it's more of like a killer hesitation. It's not a great word, but
I mean,
like
I'm
anxiety.
want to say like that it is not anxiety because it does like certain symptoms of anxiety.
Yeah.
Like it definitely has like a place.
Yeah,
to call it, like it is a correct term, I would say.
Because when I've heard people describe it, a lot of it is like, are you actually like your heart is beating and you're about to get into that
people
loading
do
screen?
That actually.
It's, I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't play the game at that point. I try so hard to be understanding.
Yeah, like I feel like you don't really realize that until you meet someone and you like are like very close to them or you experience it yourself. I think like that's just something we should not commentate on because we do not experience it.
Yeah, I never want to tell somebody that their experiences aren't valid. So yeah, when it comes to killer anxiety, I haven't made a video on it because I don't experience killer anxiety. I experience killer rage. That happens a lot. But
the only thing I can tell is just like, sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good. For me, killer is relaxing until it's not, and then I just get off the game. So that's why to answer anybody's questions, because I've had a few people ask me to do a video on it. That's why I haven't done a video on it, because I don't experience it, so I can't tell you anything about it.
Like the only thing I can really tell people is to just try to improve their mindset on this game and like not interact with endgame chat if it stresses them out. That's really all I can tell.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't experience it, so I don't know how it feels. I just try to not care about the game too much.
Yeah. So the second half of this question is this is a little bit rambly, but I'm gonna read it as written. I feel like behavior doesn't care about killers and killers quitting, because if killers leave and the killer side starts to dry up, either survivors will snap and go be killer, or killer bots will be implemented. What do you guys think?
I think that this is a bit of a biased perception, and I think we talked about it at the start of this interview. Dead by Daylight is currently being handled by a skeleton crew, to our knowledge. So they are trying to just focus on satisfying the biggest amount of people, which unfortunately are casual survivor players. Like that's just how it is. Like until we get to that recall, we don't really get a major meta shift. Like, you know. So I feel like what's the best I can really advise people to do is to make their voices heard, respectfully of course, and try to just stay resilient like the perk until the recode. And if the game doesn't improve within like a quarter or two after the recode, then I would swap games.
Yeah.
If it concerns you.
I am a huge fan of the phrase "never attribute to malice what can first be attributed to incompetence."
Thank you, Pixel Bush.
Okay, first off, I love Pixel Bush, but I knew about that phrase fucking 20 years ago. So eat me.
Okay. Fair enough.
I was a big student of philosophy. I was one of those edgy philosophy kids in high school. So
I sometimes forget you're a writer.
Yeah, I've known about that phrase for about 2 decades now. And the funny thing is, I was so mad. Okay, so this is a side tangent. I'm sorry, but when I first started making Dead by Daylight content, I really, really wanted to do a series where I brought on killer mains to teach me how to play their main, and then fucking Puffalope did it first while I was in the process of working on that, so I never did it. And then I was working on a video before I took my hiatus about the incompetence versus malice thing, and I was literally a week away from finishing the script, and then Pixel Bush released his fucking video, and so now I don't get to do it without being accused of copying him, and I'm like, God damn it, I need to be faster with my ideas. Fucking makes me so mad. But anyway,
Dude, imagine if you were going to like start conversation about the campfire, and like literally the next day, the Horror Stars of the Fog like comes out.
oh
with
my
video.
God, dude, bro,
That would be so fucking funny.
It's just like, God damn it. But so it's a great phrase to have, especially as DBD players, because like people keep pointing out, a company follows the money. And like KMD just said, the casual survivor players are probably the biggest money spenders statistically right now. Unfortunately, it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy, because killer players are so frustrated and fed up that they don't want to spend money in this game as a form of boycott. So their purchasable or their purchase statistics go down, but because survivors are already having a great time, their purchase statistics go up. And so we're stuck in this endless loop of, well, we're just following the money, but you're creating the scenario that creates where the money is going. So it's unfortunately one of those things where you have to kind of blame executives over developers for a good chunk of it. But like KMD said, and I agree with this, we need to wait until the recode. Once that comes out, give it, maybe 2 chapters after or something like that, and then see where we're at. Because I think that a lot of issues are going to come from the recode, or a lot of issues are going to be solved. Like, we're hopefully going to have less bugs. We're going to hopefully have more functioning killers. We're going to hopefully have more unique abilities. Like, I'm wondering if we're going to get, like, reworks for some of the weaker killers around that time. Right? Like, we'll finally get Trapper to start with all of his traps, as much as people...
I mean, they said that they're going to update Trapper very soon, like a few, like a month ago or so, after the 10th anniversary stream. Yeah. So I feel like because we were getting 2 mid-chapters in a row, if you missed that. They said that on the stream. So I feel like the first, like, mid-chapter, as I said, it's like no killer update, but like diminishing returns and general perk changes, as they said. And then, like, the second mid-chapter is gonna be Blight, Trapper, MMR, and something else.
Dude, I'm so worried. I feel like Blight's in a good place now that the palette.
I think Blight has barely changed. I think he's still the best killer in the game.
But I feel like the palette counterplay makes him more fair.
No, I feel like a good Blight still has completely all the agency in a tile against a survivor if they know bump logic correctly.
Yeah, but that's just rewarding the...
Especially with the fact that palette density mostly added fillers, which are just not safe.
Yeah.
Who said you have to break the palette?
But I also feel like Blight is no longer pick him and get free wins, which I feel is...
Oh yeah, like his skill floor definitely increased, but the problem is that a good Blight is still the same. Like, the character should not be that strong, even if it's rewarded by dedication from the player. The character is just simply overtuned.
I just don't know if I agree with that. I feel like you should be rewarded for having high dedication to your killer.
No, I agree with that. I feel like that is a reasonable expectation to have for a killer design. What I mean here is that you shouldn't be rewarded by being skilled in the character, that the opponent just doesn't have any agency. But like that is just fucking bad design.
But like, what could you possibly do to the character that's not gonna like gut it now? Right? Like, you gotta be super careful.
I heard that when they were designing Blight for the first time, they had a system for like levels of the serum. So like with some like complex system, over time you get to the higher levels and you overall get stronger. But they cut that macro part of the power because they had time constraints. So the only part of the power that kept was the micro part, the face part. And that's really why Blight injects himself all the time, because that's a remnant of what what the design originally had in mind with like the macro part of the power. And overall, I just think adding macro to killers overall helps them be more fair. So I think that could be our solution.
But you want to be very careful about adding like levels.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I love tiered powers like Nemesis and Myers and stuff, but those tiered powers inherently make those killers significantly weaker than they should be, because you have to put time investment into the beginning of the game, and time investment is the killer's biggest weakness. That's why even giving Trapper all of his traps at the beginning, I still don't think that the killer would be that strong, because you still have to take the time to walk around, place the traps, have the time to, you know what I mean? Like, there's just I don't know if I like the idea of giving him a tiered system.
That's why Trapper should just be able to drop traps, like just quick throw them to set them up on the ground.
Yeah.
And I got a very important word in your sentence here to catch. How strong Blight should be. If tiers make him less stronger than he should be, then how strong should Blight be?
I don't think removing S tier killers is a good idea. I think there should always be 2 to 3.
I think an S tier fundamentally as a concept is not really something a game should have, because S tiers tend to overall affect the game in a way that causes the balancing to warp around them and bottlenecking them. And sometimes it is a good thing. I think Nurse, like being a top 2 character, definitely helped a lot of design decisions in the game. I think maps overall, like having a bit more clutter on them, while it is not optimal on a lot of killers, I think overall we sometimes met the positive medium between a lot of clutter for self killers and not much clutter for range killers. I think Nurse also caused the amount of pallets to be overall smaller because she doesn't play around pallets. So weaker killers don't have to play around them. I think Nurse being a strong character is fair because she works the balance of the game in a correct way, I would say. She course corrects the game into the good direction. I think Blight works the game in a bad way because Blight is the cause of pallet density, because Thrallers just need more pallets to face Blight. Maps got bigger, they got more shit so Blight can bounce on stuff. Like overall, I feel like S tiers are a very risky thing to have in a live service game, because they completely are so strong that you have to change the game itself to accommodate for them. And at that point, do not design a power that's S tier, or heavily nerf it, so it is not that strong.
I don't like the idea of bringing Blight. So any change that would bring him below high A, I think is a mistake.
Yeah,
because we're inherently punishing people. Because like, obviously this is an extreme example, but look what happened with Skull Merchant, right? Like we had a killer that, first off, I don't think Skull Merchant was problematic before they gutted the shit out of her.
Absolutely not.
That's
was a Skull Merchant secondary.
That was yeah. That's a discussion for a different video. But I don't want us to be in a position where we're like, okay, Blight needs a little bit more nerfs, and then behavior does what behavior does, and they overtune the fuck out of the nerf, and then we're left with a killer that's like in like low B or something, and then all the people who have dedicated their lives to this killer they find super fun and enjoyable now feel like they've been like punched in the gut because they decided they wanted to play this killer. So it's such a tenuous it's not a tenuous it's such a tense conversation. It's so difficult to have because I feel like if they're going to do this second half, whatever it is, they need to tread extremely carefully, or we're gonna end up with a pseudo Skull Merchant situation.
I feel like Blight's whole design, like fantasy, like gameplay fantasy overall, does not really allow him to be lower than A tier, because he has more than one dash. Wait. Okay, as I was saying, Blight's like design philosophy, I don't think allows him to just go below A tier unless heavily like confusing like train of thought is conducted,
Mhm.
because like he's a multi-dash killer. Like I think the design itself allows him to be very, very strong. And I feel like you could perfectly balance Blight to be an A tier without like making him miserable to play.
Mhm.
And I think it is a conscious choice to not make that decision for the longest time, which is very confusing to me. I think like Blight can be a perfect A tier, and he just does not deserve to be an S tier, because if he is S tier, then he removes a lot of fundamentals of this game, like when it comes to making distance from like between resources. Because if you leave a tile, you die, and you have to leave a tile if you waste the resource, you know.
Yeah. I feel like we're both in agreement and disagreement at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't agree with taking him out of S tier, but we both agree that if he stays high A, like I feel like if he stays around like Hillbilly Twins,
Yeah.
Singularity style.
I feel like he deserves this spot.
Yeah.
Like a top skill person, he deserves that spot.
Yeah.
But we have to like just increase the amount of agency a survivor has,
Mhm.
without artificially killing the entire game.
Yeah.
Like that's a thing we should change about Blight, not the game.
No, fair enough. All right, Voltar says, what would you say is a nightmare scenario for Dredge?
This has a lot of layers. So first off, I think a fundamental of a bad game for Dredge is a bad jump spot. If you have like generators so far apart that it's very hard to patrol them, it is already a bad scenario for you, because basically your entire endgame boils down to how fast can you get the downs before they pop the gens, because you cannot patrol them effectively. Then you have not much of health state pressure. You do not really have a lot of survivors injured, so you don't generate out of Nightfall. The survivors made sure to do the generators next to lockers, so the one gen that can have lockers next to it on like a random map is the one that's left in the free gen, so you have to waddle your ass to one specific generator, wasting time. And also, the survivors are aware of when they should hold tabby. They use audio. They are aware of counterplay. They lock clusters correctly. And there's even more layers to this. Imagine you're a mainstream DBD content creator. You don't play Dredge a lot. So you just do like a viewer request. You put on some random bullshit. You put like fucking eerie wooden plank and I don't know, fallen shingle. You don't have a good build. You don't have sloppy. You like last time you saw Dredge, you saw like them in Timbuktu like running around the pallet without using their power. So you don't know how to use your power. What else? You are not aware how to time your power, so you never get a hit because they always know. You never swap out your like movement patterns. You always do the exact same mind game on every single tile, no matter the context. You don't know how to zone properly, so you don't lead them to edge map. You do not get rid of resources around your free gen, so all the pallets are still up, like one gen left in the match. You don't break clocks because you forgot that you can break clocks with your M1. Like within reason, like it boils down to bad resource management. Whatever, like just a nightmare scenario is like the survivors preserved resources around their free gen, and they are effective at splitting them up, basically, and getting heals, pretty much, without you being able to pressure them effectively before they can progress the dance. I think that's a nightmare scenario in that case. And you also don't have a ton allowed.
My nightmare scenario is simple. I load into fucking Mother's Dwelling where there's no lockers on half the map.
Get good, I would say. I think Mother's Dwelling is fine.
Is it Mother's Dwelling? There's one Macmillan map. I think it is Mother's Dwelling. There's like one Macmillan map where like there's an entire like quarter of the map that has zero
is
lockers.
Old news. That is old news.
Oh,
Shutter,
did they
fine right now. Yes,
they
pallet
changed
density. Pallet density also boils down to locker density.
Oh, okay.
And with the fact that a lot of the tiles other than pallet density are filler pallets, Dredge was indirectly buffed by pallet density because he can play more of the resources that are on the map.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, shit might have changed in the year. Well, shit did change in the year I was gone, so. Acero 13X3T says, what initially... Oh, we already answered this earlier, was what drew you into playing Dredge. I'm assuming it's the same... the second half is what convinced you to keep playing him despite his weaknesses. I'm assuming it's what drew you into him in the first place.
The Remnant kept me playing. I think the Remnant is like the best anti-loop design in the game.
It's so cool. I love it.
It's the highest. It's the anti-loop tool that has the highest dependency on both the survivor and the current skill.
It's so fun, dude. I would consider Dredge a treachery character of mine. I love Dredge so much.
Like I know I have insane bias right now, but genuinely, like when I try to compare the design with other killers, I genuinely think that the Dredge is one of the best designs in this game. Otherwise,
I don't think I can disagree at all. Outlawed 34 says, what would you consider to be Dredge's most underrated perks? I'm guessing they mean ones you use on the Dredge, not the Dredge's perks specifically.
Dark Arrogance.
Really? Oh, because you never get stunned.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so fucking big brained. I'm gonna have to try that. Wait, that sounds so fucking dude, that sounds so fucking fun, dude. Wait.
I made a video on that.
That sounds so fun. I'm gonna have to go watch your video. Dude, that actually sounds fun as shit.
It's hilarious.
Toothpaste 7215 says, were there any other killers you made before the Dredge? It was Demogorgon.
Demogorgon. I played like every monster killer in the game. Like every non-human, basically. Aside from Nemesis, because it's ambiguous what Nemesis really is.
Yeah.
Like to my knowledge, he's like a human, like fused up with the parasite. So like he's technically human, in a way.
Yeah.
I didn't play Resident Evil. I don't fucking know. I should play it one day.
I love that they've been leaning into more monster killers as time goes on. Because I remember when I first started this game, one of my biggest complaints was that basically every killer in the game, outside of like two of them, which was Demo and Dredge, was just a dude.
and then we got three monster killers in a single week.
Yeah. I was like, I remember I did
the only human hound's a fucking doll.
Yeah, exactly, bro. I was just like, why is everything just a dude? And his like behavior was like, all right, bitch. Yeah, dude, the first time I ever saw you, Bran was reacting to one of your videos, and that was back when you had the PNG of the Demogorgon with like a military helmet or something on. Is that a pilot's helmet or a military helmet?
It was fuck, what was the name of that helmet? It's like a Soviet one. I will not recall that helmet, I'm sorry. I'll Google it, but I don't know.
Do you still have those images?
I do, I think. VTS, I think it's called.
Oh, okay. Okay. Last community question we have for today, and then we'll wrap up. Gigan Overlord 1518. How do you think the future updates of the game, like the graphics overhaul and weather systems, will affect Dredge and Nightfall? Also, what are suggestions for getting better at playing a Dredge? Patience.
In terms of how the graphic updates will affect Dredge, he will have the most aura out of any killer in the game. Bar none. But I'm kinda like interested in how the weather will affect gameplay, because they said that they will. It will be definitely more difficult, but I don't think it will be like necessarily unfair, because it will also affect survivor side. Like definitely there will be more like less vision overall when it comes to Nightfall. But when it comes to like playing with the Remnant too, which I know we asked about Remnant, we asked about Nightfall, but I have to mention it. Like I feel like both you and the server will be slower, so overall like it will be a kind of a buff to gens, because you would have an even longer time to kill, because Dredge is one of the longest time to kills in the game when it comes to chase, but it will already be like way slower, which I'm not really too mad about. I don't really mind. necessarily run like a bunch of slowdowns. Also, audio will be covered by like rain and shit like that, but I don't think it will be like as big of a deal as people make it out to be. And like even if like we can just in an ideal world we will have something like a ranked queue where every single realm has a preset cycle of weather and time, and in the casual queue like everything is RNG or something like that. But that's not gonna happen. But like in an ideal world, like overall I don't really think it will be like too bad. Like it'll be fine. Like you'll manage.
I agree. I don't think I have anything to add on that.
And what was the other part? Oh, how to improve on Dredge.
Yeah, suggestions of getting better at playing as Dredge. Watch KMD's Dredge guide.
I mean, I voiced over Remnant guide earlier today. I'm probably gonna edit it like later today after this interview because I've been meaning to like edit it earlier today, but overall like this week I slept for like 4 hours, so I was like talking like I was drunk in the voiceover, so I had to, like do like a revision of it, and after I like finished like cutting it up and editing it, I just kind of took a nap. But yeah, definitely recognize what is your lunge range and play around it. So you want to like place your remnants at the edge of what is your lunge range to both deny the resource that you're trying to like circumvent, like the pallet. You can hit people on pallets, but also if they decide to hold W, you have like overall less. They have overall less distance between you and the player. Like you and the survivor you're trying to chase. Because like in that scenario, like you both can get the hit at the pallet if you send the full swing, because they're optimizing on your swing. And if they hold W, like you can just catch up to them and probably hit them before they make another resource. Like people will fucking tell you all the time, guys, just hold W from Dredge. Motherfucker, if you're not doing it at the correct time, you're going to get hit.
Exactly.
Like you're supposed to do that when he A, cannot fucking see you because there's a wall in front of him, and B, cannot hear you because like a generator is like popping behind him, something like that.
Yeah.
Like
or like they
so
don't.
kind of like people, oh, the Dredge is weak because you can just hold W. No, you fucking cannot. He will fucking kill you.
my favorite is when like they'll just hold W. Like I'll like tap my right click to start a remnant placement. They instantly hold W, and then I just let go and didn't lose any distance because I didn't even start the fucking mind game yet. It's like, oh, okay, I guess we'll go play this one then.
like the W key is a valid counterplay to the skiller, but if you don't know how to do it, you're just gonna fucking die.
Yeah, like, oh
like it's not that strong. You're 4.0 meters per second now. Dude, I love tofu, but like if I see Dredge in D tier for the 4th time in a row, I'm going to fucking scream. Like, what are we doing? Why is Legion in mid B tier but Dredge is in D tier?
Oh my god, bro. My advice as a non-Dredge main is, and this is the most common mistake I see with Dredge players, is like a lack of patience. Stop rushing your TP back to your remnant. You like, I see so many Dredge players place their remnant, do like one, like they walk 2 feet and then they're like, oh, I gotta teleport now. Just wait, bro. Just wait. The survivor will
like,
play into your remnant. Like
that isn't necessarily a misplay, but only when you know what how the survivors behave. Like, first off, like if you're doing that all the time, you're not switching out your mind game, so they'll always be able to know what you're gonna do. But if you're like switching out your stuff, like if you're playing not the same mind game every single time, then in that case, a pre-TP or even an insta-TP is like a pretty good play, because they will have to, like they will not like realize that you TP it before you are already able to hit them, because they will like keep running into you for like 1 more second, and then they have to change their momentum because they have to turn around.
It's patience is the big one. All right, so that is officially 2 hours of recording, which is cool. I'm glad we got to start this earlier than we originally planned. So as always, the first thing is the first thing before we get out of here is there anything left that you would like to say to people watching on stream or at home or anything like that?
Be kind. Always treat people like you want to be treated, unless it's a video game that doesn't fucking matter. Grow up.
Fair enough. And if you want to join me in giving a great big special thank you to our channel members listed on screen now, if you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. All of KMD's links will be in the description of the YouTube video. I love you guys so much. I'm sure KMD does as well, and we'll see you in the
I
next one.
tolerate you.